Welcome to Truth or Tube. It's November 5th, 2020. This is Matt A.M. Mystic Skywatcher reporting out of North Metro Atlanta, Georgia. The optics are so high right now, folks. I'm trying to leave out what I just made a video on my other channel about what's going on in my life in the last 24 hours. I don't want to share it on this channel. Please go to my other channel, Matt A.M. Mystic Skywatcher, to find out what the fuck's going on in my world for the last 24 hours. Since I speak out on YouTube about genocide, I'm being attacked heavily by microwave energy frequencies. Okay, on that note, I'm going to give it my all because I don't feel good. I haven't felt good for 24 hours. I have burning on the back of my head. I've had major headaches, ringing in my ears, massive energy to my head and eyes, body, vibrations. All right. It is the death towers that they've set up to control us all around us. Please check out my channel, my last video. I'm sorry, guys, but I don't feel good. I'm trying to do the best I can. I don't know what's going on with November 5th, but I've seen this video and I've heard a little about November 5th, and I don't know, guys. I'm just going to put it out there. Okay? I'm just going to put this out there because I don't know any more than what you guys know about what's next. Okay? All I know is I try to read my downloads, what's going on in my world and people around me, and the optics that I see, and connecting the dots. And I'll show you what I can, and then I got to go because I don't feel good because they've been microwaving me for 24 hours now. Strength through unity, guys. Here we go. If I can get it to play.
Good evening, London. Allow me first to apologize for this emergency channel. I do, like many of you, appreciate the comforts of the everyday routine, the security of the familiar, the tranquility and repetition. I enjoy them as much as anyone.
Okay, you're going to have to hold up because they are messing with me. They don't like me on this platform, period. It's going to get more intense as the days go on, I'm sure. I can't even turn up the video. Hold on a minute. Let me start it over so we can all see what's going on here. Frustration on all levels.
Good evening, London. Allow me first to apologize for this emergency channel. I do, like many of you, appreciate the comforts of the everyday routine, the security of the familiar, the tranquility and repetition. I enjoy them as much as any bloke. But in the spirit of commemoration, whereby those important events of the past, usually associated with someone's death or the end of some awful...
Let me rewind it. Let me start it from the beginning. I had to put subtitles. They are just... I just made my other video and now I'm being attacked because now they won't let me do anything to my friggin' one tab open. I have one tab open. One friggin' tab open. Let's start it over so you can see the subtitles. Here we go.
Good evening, London. Allow me first to apologize for this emergency channel. I do, like many of you, appreciate the comforts of the everyday routine, the security of the familiar, the tranquility and repetition. I enjoy them as much as any bloke. But in the spirit of commemoration, whereby those important events of the past, usually associated with someone's death or the end of some awful bloody struggle, are celebrated with a nice holiday, I thought we could mark this November the 5th, a day that is sadly no longer remembered, by taking some time out of our daily lives to sit down and have a little chat. There are, of course, those who do not want us to speak.
Just let me
I
think.
suspect even now orders are being shouted into telephones, and men with guns will soon be on their way.
It's chances that.
Damn it.
Why? Because while the truncheon may be used in lieu of conversation, words will always retain their power. Words offer the means to meaning, and for those who will listen, the enunciation of truth. And the truth is, there is something terribly wrong with this country, isn't there?
You designed it, sir. You wanted it foolproof. You told me every television in London.
Cruelty and injustice, intolerance and oppression. And where once you had the freedom to object, to think and speak as you saw fit, you now have censors and systems of surveillance coercing your conformity and soliciting your submission.
We need cameras.
How did this happen? Who's to blame? Well, certainly there are those who are more responsible than others, and they will be held accountable. But again, truth be told, if you're looking for the guilty, you need only look into a mirror. I know why you did it. I know you were afraid. Who wouldn't be? War, terror, disease. There were a myriad of problems which conspired to corrupt your reason and rob you of your common sense. Fear got the best of you, and in your panic you turned to the now High Chancellor Adam Sutler. He promised you order, he promised you peace, and all he demanded in return was your silent, obedient consent.
Inspector, you're almost through.
Last night I sought to end that silence. Last night I destroyed the Old Bailey to remind this country of what it has forgotten. More than 400 years ago, a great citizen wished to embed the 5th of November forever in our memory. His hope was to remind the world that fairness, justice, and freedom are more than words. They are perspectives. So if you've seen nothing, if the crimes of this government remain unknown to you, then I would suggest that you allow the 5th of November to pass unmarked. But if you see what I see, if you feel as I feel, and if you would seek as I seek, then I ask you to stand beside me 1 year from tonight, outside the gates of Parliament, and together we shall give them a 5th of November that shall never, ever be forgotten.
What do you think about that, guys? That's November 5th predictive programming through Hollywood. What the heck? Again, they don't like me on this platform, so they do everything to deter me showing my videos and a lot of things. So if you can bear with the lag time, then I appreciate it. That's how it's going to be, as long as I'm speaking out on this platform right now. Michigan USPS whistleblowers details directive from superiors back to date. Listen to this.
Tell us where you work.
To date, backdate late mail and ballots, November 3rd. Okay? This is Project Veritas. You might want to check out this because we are in big chaos. The optics are high, and I can tell you, this is a fraud from hell, everything going on. But does it matter? Does it really matter at this point? Because these people are far beyond crimes against humanity on every end in the government, because they are letting these death towers outside of our neighborhoods, next to schools, against nursing homes and hospitals to fry us with 5G millimeter waves, which is 60 gigahertz. Could refer to the video I just made on my other channel, Maddie, a Mystic Skywatcher.
The Traverse City Post Office, more specifically the Barlow branch.
Your boss told you and your colleagues something that shocked you this morning. What was it?
We were issued a directive this morning to collect any ballots we find in mailboxes, collection boxes, just outgoing mail in general, separate them at the end of the day so that they could hand stamp them with the previous day's date. Today is November 4th, for clarification.
Who is your boss, and what is his title?
Jonathan would be a direct supervisor, yes. As of right now, he is the opening supervisor for the Barlow branch post office. So and this is anecdotal, carrier down in another office said they watched the postmaster doing it. If it were just a typical day, it would be clerks. doing it up at the distribution center.
So 8 p.m. election day, November 3rd. The Court of Appeals ruled ballots have to be received by that time. And what were you told?
To separate them today so they could mark them with yesterday's date and send them through the express system to wherever they needed to go.
This appears to be an attempt to circumvent Michigan law and allow late votes. And you said there was a hamper where letter carriers were supposed to leave their ballots. Where are the ballots now?
They were putting them into express bags to go to the distribution center. In regards to a hamper, there was a standard hamper that all letter mail is supposed to go to, and they had a tub next to it that we were supposed to put any ballots collected today into.
Yes.
What made you come forward?
That's sketchy. I don't like sketchy. It screams corruption. Also, knowing the post office's leanings politically, it didn't seem quite right.
What is your message to other postal workers who see things like this?
Report it. Report it. How are we supposed to have any integrity in this country if we are just going to let things slide based on a scaling issue?
Are you afraid of retaliation against you?
I've had whistleblower policies backfire on me in the past, so yes.
We'll have to reach out to Jonathan Clark for comment. Hey, is this Jonathan?
Yeah.
Hey, I'm a reporter with Project Veritas, James O'Keefe here, and I have information that you guys have been stamping ballots with the previous date, November 3rd. He just hung up the phone on me. He just hung up the phone on me.
What do you think about that, guys? Oh my gosh. I don't even know what to say anymore because I'm just going to let these videos play out because this is what's going on in my state too. The Trump campaign files a lawsuit in Georgia. Hold on a minute.
Think coding sounds boring? What's boring?
We begin tonight with breaking news. This is a developing story we've been following for you. President Trump's campaign has filed a lawsuit in Georgia over storing and counting the ballots. So here's the latest. The Trump campaign and the Georgia Republican Party filed a lawsuit against the Chatham County area, home to the Democratic-leaning city of Savannah. They're asking a judge to order the county to secure and account for ballots received after 7 p.m. on election day. This is the third state the Trump campaign has filed a lawsuit in already. Now, Georgia is among a handful of states that the Associated Press has not called, and with 16 electoral votes up for grabs, it very well could come down to us. Democrat Joe Biden currently has 264 electoral votes, while Trump has 214. 270 electoral votes are needed to bring home the win.
So here's where we are right now. We're still waiting for more than 107,000 ballots to be counted in Georgia. That's according to the Secretary of State, Brad Raffensperger. Now, what we know is this. It includes one from a few big metro counties like Fulton, Cobb, and Gwinnett as well. We have
finished tonight. As long as it takes, we're going to be here.
Still outstanding statewide, according to the Secretary of State's office. Brendan Keefe back with us now to take a look at closing the gap on President Trump here in Georgia. I have been introducing you that way for about 7 hours now, Brendan, and the beat goes on.
Jeff, you're a longtime sports guy, so this is really appropriate. We have the whole 11 Alive sports team. Alex McQuaid, star sports producer, is providing me with a breakdown of the numbers as if we're calling a live sporting event, because that's what this is, except it's more than just a sporting event. Literally, the presidency of the United States possibly hangs in the balance of the numbers in Georgia right now. We have a major update. Ignore 50-49. It's just not deep enough into the numbers. You have to actually see the real numbers here, because it's 49, 49. And when we go into the hundreds, 06 for Biden and 7-1 for Donald Trump. That's what separates these two candidates right now in Georgia. And we're talking about now 31,748 votes. The real question is, how many votes are left to count? According to the Georgia Secretary of State, we have, let's do it down here where you can see it nice and big. There are 90,735 votes left to count. And we've basically got a race that is down to 31,748 votes. That's what we're looking at. It's really extraordinary. Now, before we said 68%, that's what that Joe Biden would have to get of the remaining vote just to tie Donald Trump in Georgia to get those 16 electoral votes. That actually has improved a bit to 67.5%. That's because we got a bunch of numbers in from Fulton County. He's doing really well in Fulton County. So let's take a quick look at the electoral map, because this is what it really comes down to. Now, it's important to point out, this is not the NBC map. NBC has not called Arizona. The Associated Press has. This is the Associated Press map. And we're also talking about, an electoral vote here in Maine, an electoral vote here in Nebraska, because they separate it by congressional district. So we don't have a 269 possible tie right now. What we have is Nevada, everyone's waiting on. That would give Joe Biden 270. He would be the next president of the United States if this map holds and he wins Nevada. But if he wins Georgia, just Georgia, not Nevada, not Pennsylvania, not North Carolina, he just holds Wisconsin, Michigan, Arizona. Donald Trump can win the rest, 280 electoral votes. Joe Biden is the next president of the United States, and Georgia would have sent him there. This is a big if still. This is not even going to be answered tonight. Fulton County says they're going to get the numbers in by 3 a.m. They have about 29,000. They've been dumping numbers into the system as they're counting these votes. They say they have about 29,000 votes left to count in Fulton.
Well, Brendan, thank you. You are running the numbers tonight, legally, of course, but nonetheless, you are running them. Thank you. See you in a few minutes.
Sorry about this on natural gas.
No.
Where'd you get that one?
They're running the numbers all right. This is the biggest corruption, and they knew this, and it was planned, and I believe that it was set up this way because they never did anything to fix it from the get-go from years ago, multiple elections. They know this was coming, and there's a lot of corruption, and you can look at it by the people counting the votes and how they're doing it. It looks really corrupt to me. Everything I've seen, it looks really corrupt on all levels. Now, Marve, Amos, I'm not feeling well. And I can tell you why, because of my video I made yesterday on this channel. Okay? They started hitting me with frequencies in the middle of my video. And it became very heavy all night long, all day yesterday. And I am not feeling well. And I've already explained on my other channel what is going on. So please check out my other video. I'm here just to show you guys the optics, what's going on in Georgia and from my view. And, they target me, period.
We're going to kick things off right now with John Sherrick.
And they say they're going to stay here all night into the early morning hours, keep at it until they are done. Workers here are processing the last of all the absentee ballots that were cast in Fulton County this election. More than 140,000 absentee ballots in all. They're processing them one by one, and they are nearing the end. At last count, they were down to the last 24,000 or so ballots. They open each envelope, inspect each ballot, then they scan each ballot onto a card and then send the card to another location where all the ballots are actually counted. Richard Barron is the director of Fulton County Elections.
We're trying to make sure that every ballot is counted, and we expect to be here. We're bringing in some more fresh people because we've had people here all day. We expect this to go probably until midnight or more.
It is a process that they follow for every election, and they expected that it would take them this long this time because of the huge number of absentee ballots this year. So they are expecting that all of the absentee ballot results will be posted along with the entire Fulton County vote results, probably sometime in the morning.
All right, John, thank you. Natisha Lance is also in Fulton County as we speak at the Election Prep Center where they are counting the votes too. Natisha?
That's right, Ron. And coffee just started brewing in about half an hour ago. So that goes.
One question I have is, where are all the Republicans counting all the votes? To me, every polling booth, everywhere I look, at all the, even Pennsylvania, Michigan, it seems like a bunch of Democrats are counting the votes. Yeah, I know, Amos. I've been overdoing it this whole time that I've been on this platform. They've been attacking me the whole time. My life has been a nightmare ever since I became very voiced out on this platform, okay? It's not my headaches. It's microwave energy vibrating my body, my head, burning my eyes, and making me very sick, weak. I have to sleep with military grade silver fabric, RFID fabric around my head that doesn't even work. I showed you guys the tower outside my neighborhood that they just added onto when I came out of the election booth voting on November 3rd. Lo and behold, they had a crane on the fucking 5G tower next to my house upgrading it. And I've been having this vibration in my body for a couple weeks now, but it went away, and now it's really came back in the last 24 hours. And you know what? I'm doing this for the children of the world, the unborn children, and the children living, because us adults, we are the ones that have to speak for them. And if they kill us, so be it. I'm going to die anyways. They are going to take me out no matter what. One day or eventually they will, because that's their agenda, is to depopulate. I live in North Metro Atlanta where there's so many damn towers around me that the frequencies are so high here, guys, and they are frying me for showing you guys stuff, especially my video yesterday. So I appreciate it. My health does come first, but you know what? At these times, warriors are warriors, and I'm going to be a warrior no matter what. And this shit is corrupt as hell. I don't even see any. Where are all the Republicans counting votes? Because to me, all this looks like a psyop. It looks like very Democratic, and it looks like a very mixed agenda there of the people counting votes in all these states. Where are the fact checkers? Why are there cameras on every vote where they're sitting there at their desk counting these things? Where are these votes coming up in the middle of the night? I've got more videos to show you that all these votes are just appearing in the middle of the night. I have 2G wired cable. I don't have Wi-Fi in my house. I got rid of it last October. I got rid of my smart meter last October because they tried to kill me last year. I was so sick for 3 months. Well, I was sick longer than that, but I thought I was truly dying through December to February. So I got rid of all that in my house, and I don't even keep my phone on because they target me through my phone, guys. It doesn't matter anymore. These are silent weapons. They can attack you in your home, and you don't need any Wi-Fi in your home to be attacked. Buy tinfoil. That's the best thing that works. And I don't have any. My slack-ass husband that I'm still married to, very separated, but married, and I have no other choice right now because I have children, and I am in a freaking world of shit. And I can't get my husband to buy me tinfoil. I've asked him yesterday, and I'll be in microwave for 24 hours. He don't give a fuck. Nobody gives a fuck. I'm trying to show people around me what the fuck's going on. Nobody cares. They're all evil. Everybody's so evil. They're so fucking far up their ego. Everybody has such a fucking ego. I can't even take it anymore. I have to just stay by myself, sit by myself, keep to myself, because people don't see the genocide being laid on humanity. They just keep swallowing what they get fed.
To show you that folks here have settled into the idea that this is going to be a long night. So it's been a start and stop pattern here as they await information to come in from State Farm Arena that comes in the form of disc, where ballots have been scanned and that information comes on those discs, and then it comes here so that the votes can be counted. But before that, they have to go through an adjudication process. We have video which we're showing to you of it earlier. What that means is that a representative from both sides, a Republican and a Democrat, will look at ballots that the computer has identified with some issues. So maybe that means that someone didn't fully fill out a bubble, or maybe they made two selections and scribbled one out.
Oh, so it takes a Republican and Democrat to look at the mishaps of whatever's happening, but there's not a Republican and Democrat looking at any of these votes as they're coming in. This is corrupt. We are in major shit because people are not going to have this. I can tell you, this is going to get really ugly very soon.
The computer kicks that out, and it requires a human to look at it to determine what the voter's intention was when they cast their ballot. If both sides can agree, then the ballot goes forward. But if not, then the deputy election director will make the determination, and then it's uploaded to the server and it's published. So that is what we are waiting on right now, that next batch to come forward. But once again, we are expecting this to be quite a long night. So it's not just Fulton. There are also a bulk of votes that still need to be counted tonight in DeKalb and Gwinnett counties. From information we got from DeKalb County and the Secretary of State's office, it appears about 6,600 ballots still need to be counted in DeKalb. Now, in addition to that, let's take it now to Gwinnett County, who's in the process to count all of the votes, and that could stretch into the weekend coming out of Gwinnett. Both provisional and absentee ballots still have to be counted. The counting of the ballots will begin tomorrow morning starting at 9 a.m., and it could take around 3 days there. So just to be clear, we are in for a long stretch. There are still tens of thousands of ballots that need to be counted. Brendan Keefe joins us now to break down the numbers for us tonight, specifically county by county. Brendan, presidential race in Georgia, you can just call it razor thin right now.
Yeah, and really it's the whole country is watching because these 16 electoral votes could determine the next president of the United States, and that is not hyperbole. We're talking about Georgia possibly determining the next resident of the White House or whether the current one stays there. Let's take a look at the numbers right now. It's not 50-49, even though that's what we're showing you. It's much tighter than that. It's actually 49.71 rounded up to 50 and 49.06 rounded down to 49. So we have fractions of a point right here. And out of, how many votes? 4.8 million votes. Only 31,748 now separate the two candidates. What's important here is where these votes are coming in. Most of them tonight have come from Fulton County, where we know 1 out of 3 of the outstanding 90,000 votes remain. And that is where Biden has been getting 72% of the vote. Our County has to get 67.5%, 68% of the remaining vote to tie President Trump and force this into some sort of contested race.
Stop that count! 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 Stop that.
Okay, this is happening in Michigan, Grand Rapids, Michigan. They were spraying chemtrails right above the voters as they were voting, along with Pennsylvania. Chemtrails around the people that were voting to dull their minds, to keep them dull, because they knew this was coming. They knew this was coming, man. This is just unbelievable. Pray for our nation. Please pray for our people. Please, I know you guys have it over there. I'm praying for everyone. The signs are in the heavens. They know it. We know it. I don't even know anymore, guys. Like, be aware. I do know. I showed you the video. I showed it yesterday. I just showed it on my other channel. I'm not going to show it again. I showed you guys the video that is the video that needs to be shared, and we all need to think about, what are we going to do? I mean, hold on a minute. You know what? I had the worst nightmares I've ever had. I dreamt a lot too, trying to sleep away the microwave energy in the last 24 hours. I had the worst dreams, guys. I don't have dreams, rarely. And when I do, they're really intense sometimes.
Things aren't going too well.
You don't, I mean, the dreams I had were very awful. Nightmarish.
Ripping each other apart over politics. So yeah. Yeah. That looks like our current situation. Welcome back, beautiful and amazing human beings. This is Luke Gadowski of WeAreChange.org. Safe to say we're living in very peculiar times, as a lot of Americans are on edge, as we're finding out the country can't even count. But hey, crazy idea. If there ever was a time to give up on this crazy, chaotic, insane idea of government, it's right now. So hey, let's give this idea up, start being responsible for ourselves, our family members, our communities. We either work together or leave each other alone, but we live in peace and harmony. What do you say? But that's a crazy idea that will lead to instability and chaos, because we don't have any of that right now. But yeah, obviously we are going to be talking about the latest events surrounding the election, the contention, the errors in reporting, the fishy business going around, as we have a lot of important issues to get into in this video. Before we get into the actual contention of what actually is going on between Donald Trump.
Before we get into that, I want to make note of this. Marve, I have faith, and there is a need to carry the whole nation on my shoulders because I have children. I have nieces, nephews. I have unborn children and children that was brought into this world all around in my nation, on this planet, that are being controlled by evil forces working within and amongst us. So faith has nothing to do with it. What needs to be is exactly what I'm doing, with all of us warriors are doing, is carrying it on our shoulders so we can fight for the ones that are brought into this. I've already lived my 43 years, but they are just freshly coming into it. And this is the new world order taking over our youth. This is the Fourth Reich taking over the youth. So whether I, carry it on my shoulders or not, this is my purpose. This was my calling. And this is what I'm supposed to do from my heart within, to speak for humanity and to fight and show people, connecting the dots, show humanity what's up. So in the future, when they do take me out, and if my videos are still around, then the children can look at them and they can say, whoa. Or the older ones that are in, out of high school, in college, that are seeing that their world is very controlled, that they will see that there were people trying to help them and save them. And we're trying to show everybody now what the fuck to do. We can't just sit back anymore. Sitting back has got us to this.
Trump and Joe Biden. I think it's also important to note some of the other things that have happened through this election, and that is highlighting how the pollsters were absolutely wrong once again. When you look at major predictions that they made, especially on the mainstream media, a lot of them have been just flat out wrong. Also, it is important to note that the state of Oregon became the first U.S. state to decriminalize possession of all drugs. Yes, all drugs. Cocaine, heroin, meth is now legal for personal use. Other states like Arizona, New Jersey, South Dakota, and Montana passed legalized marijuana, and Washington, D.C. decriminalized psychedelics. Democrats lost some seats in the House, and the Senate is still controlled by the Republicans. And very few people are paying attention to any of those issues, since, of course, we have a contested election and a big crap storm coming when it comes to legal battles and the probability of physical battles that may take place. And before we get into that, plus a lot more, this independent YouTube channel is fully demonetized. There are no ads on this video, so we are supported through your help and also with working with companies that we like and we personally trust. One of them that I think is important to mention is safepreparedandready.com. It's a company that I've been working with for over 6 years now. I really like our F-It 2020 bash. If you are feeling frustrated or stressed and want to read my latest Instagram post that is developing right now. I am scrabbling to shoot this video to release it because the situation changes very dramatically. But as of right now, the betting odds have flipped back in favor for Joe Biden, who now has a quote 79% chance of beating Donald Trump, as we're getting initial reports right now that he is gaining a crucial lead in Wisconsin and Michigan after quote surprise ballot dumps. Yes, we're going to be getting into those in just a little bit, as well as the larger questions surrounding them. But one of the bigger questions that I think a lot of people should be left with after what just happened is, why the hell can't this country count? What the hell happened? As even Greenwald said, quote, nations far poorer and less technologically advanced have no problem holding quick, efficient elections. Distrust in U.S. outcome is dangerous, but rational. And I have to say, I absolutely agree with him. What happened here with the vote counting? Why is the government being especially incompetent when it comes to a very tense, tumultuous moment where most of Americans are on edge and everyone is fear-mongering about a civil war? Like, that's not the time to sit back and have bureaucratic Becky at the DMV slowly process your paperwork, mainly because she's getting paid per hour. Yeah, I'm sorry, but Becky, this is not the time to do this. And this should have some serious consequences and some serious questions for the rest of Americans out there. Many key states like Wisconsin announced that they won't be announcing a winner last night. Michigan said that they won't be announcing one until Friday. Pennsylvania declared that this isn't over anytime soon. As of course, there was even statements from their government officials that counting could go on up until Friday. There was specific court battles between the Trump administration and the government of Pennsylvania to make sure that the votes actually come in on election day, that the votes are actually counted. The Pennsylvania Attorney General fought back against those orders proudly, prolonging this election, making it contested, and even announced that Trump couldn't win the state if, quote, all votes are counted. His specific words were, quote, if all the votes are added up in Pennsylvania, Trump is going to lose. Meanwhile, this statement was made before any of the counting and any of the voting. Now, to add to the large layers of problems, we are also getting reporting errors coming out of Arizona, which previously reported it counted 95% plus of the votes, but that was a recording error, and it looks like they only had 86% of the vote counted. This matters since, of course, it could go either way. It is a major swing state, and just like I've been saying, this election was going to be extremely close, and it is. Now, with these errors, with this bureaucracy, with these delays, of course, comes many serious questions, especially as we've been highlighting in Pennsylvania, where the court ruled that election officials could receive ballots up until November 6th, even if they don't have a, quote, clear postmark. And as we said days ago, it looks like Pennsylvania has the most complications regarding this entire process. And let's just call it here. This is an utter mess of an entire systemic system. Moments ago, the AP called Arizona. Fox did last night, but they're still somehow wrong because of these accounting errors. And as Michael Tracy puts it, maybe they should pursue a different path in life. And as he suggests, maybe knitting. And he's absolutely correct. Now, of course, Trump made some statements regarding this entire situation. And honestly, I don't think he's doing himself any favors by declaring this election as a fraud, while at the same time declaring himself victor. There's a little contradiction there that people need to realize. But as this mess keeps getting messier and more confusing and more just in the air, regular people have to worry about violence, as even prominent right-wingers were stabbed last night in Washington, D.C. Yes, there was clashes where literally there was stabbings of prominent right-wingers. So it's safe to say, adding more confusion on this very tumultuous situation isn't going to help ease it at all. It's only going to rile people up more, which is not a smart thing to do. Now, even though I don't think Trump did himself any favors with his speech last night, there are a lot of his supporters that are bringing up the fact that it's extremely peculiar that Biden is having massive voter gains at the last moment. A lot of people are specifically linking to this chart highlighting in Wisconsin how there was a major jump in Biden voters. There are a number of individuals saying that they are statistically improbable and outright impossible to happen. We, of course, are still waiting on the official explanation to this jump in numbers, but also more prominently, there's also a lot of censorship happening on big tech media platforms like Twitter, where a lot of prominent individuals are getting their tweets and messages censored when they question what is happening here. Individuals like Steven Crowder and even Tim Pool, along, of course, with the US president, had their tweets censored. The Tim Pool example is pretty strange since, of course, he lays out a possible scenario that may unfold here, where he highlights how both sides are going to be contesting the results of the election, possibly. Now, as of right now, Biden voters are believing that they just won Wisconsin. Michigan will be called later on today. Pennsylvania may come in tonight, tomorrow, or even Friday. Georgia results may come in later this afternoon, and Nevada may call it tomorrow. But still, I'm left with the question, why couldn't they get the results on election day? What's going on here? One of the top most prominent countries in the world can't count? I mean, this is absolutely ridiculous. And of course, a lot of people are going to be crying foul. Regardless if there was foul play or not, this is not normal. A lot of people are saying we're going to have a contested election. I think it's fair to say we are already in a contested election, especially from the statements that we saw from U.S. President Donald Trump moments ago last night, the statements that his campaign is releasing right now. We're in for a hell of a ride. Buckle up, because it sure got a lot more interesting in the season finale of the United States. But hey, come on, seriously, if there ever was a time to entertain the idea of being responsible for yourself and not needing government, if there ever was an opportunity to say, hey guys, you know what? We don't need all this. We don't need to keep fighting. Oh, you stay there, we stay here. We both could defend ourselves with firearms and not need tribalistic leaders that push us to conflict? Huh. Who would have thought? But hey, that's just my crazy idea. What do you think? How do you see this thing unfolding? I see a lot of contention. I see a lot of major legal battles. I see some civil unrest that may be as significant as it was during the summer. But I think most importantly, I see a lot of uncertainty, of course, moving forward. That's my take. What is yours? Appreciate your feedback, appreciate your criticism, and appreciate your insight down in the comment section below. Without you, I wouldn't be here, and this is why. Love you guys. Stay tuned for more here on wearechange.org.
Yeah, controlled opposition blinding the true bloods, and I believe that. And there is a lot of that on this platform. So take everybody's videos with a grain of salt, because there is a lot of opposition on this platform within the media. If you think it's in the media, then what do you think YouTube is? Just another branch of it. So don't fool yourself, guys. Discern for your own. Here we go. I want to play this video really quick. Did I save it? This is where we're at.
You heard that interview with the former chief of staff to President Trump. I'm not a conspiracist, but I have been in this game a long time. I've never seen anything like this in my life.
Yeah, I'm real, guys. I'm real. Hello. I'm real.
Was a mile in front in Pennsylvania, Georgia, and Michigan.
Thank you, Marve.
He was 54. To 43%. Yet overnight, hundreds of thousands of postal votes have magically materialized for Biden. Biden's 43 has gone to 50.5%. Trump's 54 has sunk to 48. So Biden has found in 24 hours 350,000 votes. Pull the other leg. In Wisconsin last night, Trump was 54 to 46. Now Trump's 54 is 48. Biden's 46 has gone to 49.6. That's now been declared for Biden. That is 210,000 votes overnight to Biden. From where? Pre-polling. In Georgia, we spoke to Rita this time last night. Biden was trailing by more than 100,000 votes in a poll of less than 5 million. Far from being 100,000 down, he then picked up 130,000 to narrowly hit the lead. We'll get a result on that later tonight. I suspect Trump, though, will win Georgia. Pre-polling, North Carolina, worth 15 electoral college votes, there's been no count. You heard Mick Mulvaney say, counting in America is political amateur hour. Trump is still in front there in North Carolina with 94% counted. You heard the former chief of staff say they'd taken a holiday in Nevada, but Nevada is very, very critical. The presidency may pitch and turn on Nevada. Arizona, you heard, has been given to Biden. 11 critical college votes. On the figures, with only 86% counted, there are only 79,000 votes in it, and the Trump team is saying there are anything up to 1 million to be counted. On the maths of it, all day, they've had Trump on 214, needing 270, and Biden on 264, needing 270. But that includes Arizona. This is my point about Nevada. Should Trump win Pennsylvania 20, that's 234. Should he win Georgia, as Rita was suggesting, 16, that gets him to 250. Should he win North Carolina, where I think he will, he's in front, but who knows what the pre-polls might be found to make the difference. But it's 15 electoral college votes. That would take Trump to 265 and Biden on 264. My reckoning is this: only 2 states matter. With all the perceived doctoring of the pre-polls, which will finish up in court, Nevada is critical on current figures with 6 electoral college votes. It would take both of them to 270 just. But Arizona is the key. It's being contested. But listen to this. I was going to play you a clip, but I couldn't get it, so I'll verbalise it. In a Fox News report today, we heard a federal court judge has ordered Democrats in Pennsylvania to stop contacting voters to tell them to correct their ballot. Last night, we put on my Facebook page my opening comments on Biden, his record, cheating at university, lifting extracts from other people's speeches, his son's role in Ukraine. Remember, here is Biden's son, thrown out of the army on a drug issue, knows nothing about energy policy, can't speak Ukrainian. He's on $50 a month with a Ukrainian energy company. Why? Well, the company who hired him was facing corruption charges. They wanted the son, Hunter Biden, to help the company meet the big man, who was Big Daddy. The Ukrainian energy bosses met the vice president. The Ukrainian prosecutor was sacked. I'm sure you heard my editorial last night. It is currently on my Facebook page. Just go to Alan Jones Australia. There have been hundreds of thousands of views and thousands of comments. Listen to just a sample to prove that some people might be stupid, but my viewers aren't. Deb said, I pray he exposes the fraud, Alan. I fear for my grandchildren. They've got no idea what they're going to be living through. Chris said, it reeks to high heaven. All along, I knew mail-in ballots would be a fraud. Big tech and mainstream media will be buoyed by this outcome, and they think they can rig any election in any country. Spells trouble to me. And Helen said, Trump needs to dig his heels in and fight them to the end. We cannot let this evil win at any cost. Well, as I said to you last night, it seemed impossible that Trump, all things being equal, could be caught in states which carried with them something like 83 electoral college votes. Even if, as some statistics suggest, Biden's supporters had submitted 616,000 absentee votes in Pennsylvania, compared with 162,000 from Trump's supporters, how on earth could Biden make up the 690,000 deficit that he faced this time last night? The same could be said of Michigan and Wisconsin. With 92% of the vote counted last night in Wisconsin, Mr. Trump held a lead of 119,000 votes, 54 to 46. Now, a day later, it's 49.6 to Biden, not 46, and 48.9 to Trump, not 54. Far from being 119,000 votes ahead, Biden is now 20,000 in front, a turnaround of 139,000 votes for Biden. It was described as a late dump of votes. Where are they from? In Michigan, while only 86% of the vote had been counted when I spoke to you last night, Trump was well in front, 54 to 43. Now Trump's 54 is suddenly 48. And Biden, from pre-polling, goes from 43 to 50.5. That's an almost 8% swing. 8% of the vote in Michigan is 400,000 votes. It is simply not believable. This is not to buy into the argument that we must race off to the Supreme Court. But there is something odd about all of this. In Georgia last night, Biden was trailing by more than 100,000. 92% of the vote had been counted. So after counting pre-polls, in the last 24 hours, Biden's picked up over 70,000 votes. Make no mistake, the optimism and confidence of the Democrats derives from this pre-polling business. How do you explain that this was an election about Trump? Every Republican was on the Trump ticket. In the vote for the House of Representatives, the Democrats lost 8 seats to the Republicans. Now, admittedly, the Republicans lost 2 to the Democrats, but the Trump Republicans won 6 seats in the House of Representatives. And with all the relentless attacks against Trump, the Democrats won't get a majority in the Senate. So what about this scenario? The next casualty will be Pelosi, the Democrat leader. She has lost seats in the House of Representatives, and all her talk about winning the Senate has fallen on deaf ears.
I want to stop that, guys, for 1 minute. And I don't mean to break up the train of thought of that video. However, I just went outside to feed my cats that are stray cats outside in the neighborhood. Let me tell you. Let me show you what they're doing. Right now, as I look out my friggin' window, my front door, they are blazing my skies. It's 7 a.m., 7:45, and they are friggin' hitting us. Chemtrails.
Central because of me.
Because of me.
Because of me.
I believe that. It's either because of me from talking out. My skies have been clear, but I've been heavy on them.
Heavy on them because they were genocide on humanity.
This is right now.
Much love and light, guys.
In my sky.
Pray for humanity.
Look at
They're
this.
on us hardcore, man. Oh my
They're
gosh.
lighting up
That
the
one
sky.
over there. Oh my gosh. Here we go. Love and light.
That's what's going on right now. They're spraying chemtrails over my vicinity right now. This is a nightmare. Yep. It's been good here for a while, but obviously we're in Georgia, just like Michigan. They were spraying in November 3rd, Grand Rapids, Michigan. They were spraying. I have the videos. I posted them. I point them out of people posting on Twitter where there's chemtrails above them, of them at the polling booth, standing in line, chemtrails blazed above. Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Georgia. I wonder why. What are they putting in them, folks? What are they putting them in it? Aluminum and more stuff to keep everybody calm. Because why? They know that they're starting shit in these states. People are not happy because of the voting corruption. Yeah. And Marve, I've never heard of Huey P nonsense, but I will definitely check them out. I'll have to open up the tab in a minute. Yeah, I haven't been on a lot of channels anymore because a lot of targeting has happened in the last year, and I was on a lot of channels. So, you know, I don't know what to say anymore, guys.
Then you take the vote at the polls on polling day. The polls and the New York Times, pollsters and the New York Times and the Trump haters said that his chance of holding Florida was less than 10%. He walked in. Then they said he couldn't win Ohio. They came out in droves for Trump. He walked in. They said he couldn't win Iowa. He walked in. These are pollsters and media entities trying to manipulate the minds of voters in an environment where voting is not compulsory. The New York Times ran a piece during the campaign itself suggesting that Texas would become Democrat. Trump walked in. When voters were asked in October, only weeks before polling day, whether they were better off than they were 4 years ago, voters overwhelmingly said yes. That has been reflected in the votes recorded on voting day. It's not reflected in pre-polling. Has the pre-polling been rorted? I repeat what I said last night. Biden was supposed to be in front nationally by at least 7%. That would mean with 140 million voter turnout, Biden would win the popular vote by almost 10 million. Nothing like it. Yes, he's in front, but nothing like that. Surely editors and the people responsible for such polls should be told not to turn up for work tomorrow. Many were saying before the election that Trump's concerns about potential voter fraud were exaggerated. In the light of these dramatic changes in the last 24 hours, and I've been around a long time in this stuff, it appears to me Trump's comments may have been understated. Because of COVID, millions of ballots were posted out to voters to their last registered address. Common sense would tell you the potential for fraud is mammoth. And this is what political machines exist to do. As Greg Sheridan, the foreign editor for The Australian, a very objective commentator, has suggested today, quote, there's a serious history of this in the United States. Well, whatever the result, in the light of everything that we have read about polls and the media headlines and everything anti-Trump, one truth remains. Trump has wildly outperformed expectations, and this vote has been a repudiation of everything that we've been told. Put simply, the public have been lied to. Was it deliberate or not? If the Republicans have gained 6 seats in the House of Representatives, and if the Democrats haven't won the Senate, how in the last 24 hours has that overwhelming support for Trump changed dramatically in the presidential vote? At some point, this election will be over. I would suspect that for months to come, conjecture will continue. What do you think? Email me, alan@skynews.com.au, or the text line 0414 000 848.
Every legal vote will count.
Tonight, the presidency hinges on very tight races in battleground states, including here in Georgia. A last-minute surge of absentee ballots delayed some results, with votes still trickling in, and a promise from the Secretary of State that we will have the results by the end of the day.
Votes still trickling in. Votes still trickling in. Yeah, this is going to be the scamdemic of all, and not all. It's just another one. I'm getting a crimes against humanity in my skies. I'm posting the video right now on my other channel, Maddie Mystic Skywatcher. Genocide being laid down on humanity here in Georgia, in my vicinity, Gwinnett County, Georgia. And after they upgraded the tower, guess what? My phone upgrades, and my video is going to be downloaded within less than 1 minute because of what they upgrades they just did on November 3rd on that cell phone tower outside my neighborhood. Because I've never, ever, the 2 videos I posted yesterday and this one, I've never had a video upload so fast in my life. And that is it. The connection is right there. They upgraded that cell phone tower, and now I get great reception now. I can upload my videos, and they don't take hours. Interesting. Yep. Crimes against humanity. I'll show you in 1 minute. It's about to, just to put it on, we'll get it on record here. What's going on in my skies, 7 a.m., 7:45, here in North Metro Atlanta. Trump, Biden, you friggin' crooks, Governor Brian Kemp. Here we go. I'm going to be all at it again. Because Brian Kemp, I've been hashtagging my skies and doing a lot to show them that what the hell is going on. Why are you guys spraying us like damn cockroaches? I want to know why you're spraying us like cockroaches. I want to know why. I got 3 more seconds, and I'll show you the video. This is infuriating. Because not only have I been microwaved for the last 24 hours, but now I got crimes against humanity sprayed in the sky again, right above my house, in my vicinity, and nobody cares. Nobody's doing anything about it. Nobody's addressing it. So here, it just uploaded. Let me refresh my page. Let me make sure I turn off my phone because they fried me through there. Oh, where's my video? Right here. Let's watch it. November 5th, 2020. Lo and behold, it's 7 a.m. and look what I got. They are fucking blazing us. Chemtrail Central because of me. Because of me. That's what I believe. Because look what I talk about. Because I've been heavy on them. Because they're genocide on humanity. Much love and light, guys. Pray for humanity. They're on us hardcore, man. Oh my gosh, look at that one over there. Oh my gosh, here we go. Love and light. November 5th. So that's what's going on in my skies, guys. I just proved it right there. Timestamp by the old phone. It can't get any clearer than that. They are on us. They are heavily attacking us on all angles. There's no doubt. There's no doubt. And that's fine, because I'll be attacking along with all the other warriors for love and humanity, love and light, and for humanity. They will never win, ever. Remember that, you son of a bitches. You will never win. It never works out for you. Believe me, I have seen many evil people die in life because karma, it gets them. You will get yours, one way or the other, you evil fools. All right. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm flustered by all this. You want to see an interesting video? What causes these? You might ask me.
Back for the day.
Sorry about that. I don't know what happened there.
Back for the day. And I caught this here. Look at that. And that right there. Ain't that crazy? I don't see any other spots like that, but that's just nuts. Just those two spots like that.
That's just nuts. What do you guys think about that? There's something interesting going on. I can tell you that. That was recorded November 4th, yesterday, by Bones. What causes these? Portals? A CERN? I mean, why are they spraying my skies right now? You know, you'd wonder. There's freaking chemtrail lines everywhere. I'm looking out my window and I'm horrified. I'm horrified. But that's okay, because they will never win. All right, well, I think that's, I'm going to leave it off on this friggin' note, because at this point I'm really lost for words, because I'm being microwaved. We're being sprayed with chemtrails. My food's poisoned. Every bite I eat almost, unless I'm buying organic, which is still poison. My water, our water, the sunlight's not real. We have NASA beaming us down with LED bulbs. It's called the sun simulator. That's not our sun all the time. I know it sounds crazy, but you might want to look up the information and do your homework, guys, if you just came to my channel and you're listening to this. I don't even know what else to say anymore. I'm going to end my first things first. Get out the band, get out the band, get out of the shadow. Yeah, I'm not going to be in that sun, and I'm just going to be spreading love and light. Pray for humanity. This is all I got for today for right now, guys. I've had a rough day yesterday and all night. And I'm still trying to shake out the microwave energies hitting me in my ears right now, being pierced with rings. So take care, guys. I appreciate you guys coming and listening to me this morning. It's been a roller coaster ride. That's for sure. Stay bright. Speak out for humanity. And pray for humanity. And broadcast your love and light. Be a warrior. Much love.